You are now listening to another episode of the Renegade Podcast, and I'm interviewing the one and only Swiftstart. So they are there are two people, and they run this channel talking about mostly sort of Disney animation, just Disney stuff, animation in general. But they did a recent video about Tron Ares that I really like, and it's gonna start in 3, 2, 1, and hello. Hello. Hi. It's audio only, so you don't have to show your face.
Okay, we can't hear him, so we need to fix the speakers.
I can hear you.
Try the other one?
That's the USB, so that's not going to work.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
So, let me check. Oh, my volume was down. Oh, and him talking. I might just have to unplug the mic and go with the standard.
Yeah, let's go with that. Yep.
Yeah.
Hello? You hear me?
Okay, that's good.
You hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So how's your day been, guys?
It's been exciting. It's the busiest time of the year at our day job. So
Okay.
Fox here has been spending all day long working and dying while I sat at home gardening, which is riveting stuff. I know.
hate her for it.
Okay. Okay. So this interview is audio only. So you guys can show your face. You don't have to show your face. That's are y'all cool with
Alright,
that?
cool.
Okay. Okay. All right.
I mean, we're already here.
Okay.
Shame.
So I want to sort of talk about what was the origin of the channel name. I'm actually interested in that.
Okay, so long time ago, I was an enormous fan of the Warrior Cats book series by Aaron Hunter, which is about cats living in the woods, following a warrior code.
Yeah.
And on the Warrior Cats website, they had a find your warrior name thing, and it came up with Swift something for me. Don't remember the last half ass, but I wound up making with my middle school best friend a Neopets Warrior Cat role playing guild called Swiftstart.
That's funny.
Which later on became Swiftstart when Swiftstart was taken on virtually every website.
Okay.
And so, fast forward, and we originally only ever really intended to make one video, which was me ranting about Elena of Avalor, and so we just used my my usual username.
Okay.
But then it kind of evolved from there, and so now it is Swiftstart, but
exposed to us.
Yep.
Okay. That's interesting. Because I thought it had something to do with
Taylor Swift.
I was gonna say I thought I was gonna do something with Taylor Swift, but that's actually really interesting. So it's funny. I came across your channel. I think it was a couple weeks ago, and I think your most popular video was on my my recommended page, and I clicked on it, and I really loved the sort of commentary style of it. So. My question would be, what was the idea behind that video specifically, and did you expect that video to sort of blow up the way it did?
When you say our most popular, I'm going to guess you mean the Wish video?
Yeah.
So they're Wish.
Wish, yeah.
That we made, because we cover so much just Western animation content, so as soon as we knew that there was going to be a Disney movie in theaters, we knew we had to see it. And honestly, we hated it so much we couldn't help ourselves. We went in with a note knowing we'd take notes, and it spiraled.
Yep, my notes are absolutely illegible because it turns out writing notes in the dark is impossible.
Yeah.
Who knew? But, it was pretty much, we wanted it to be funny, but we also wanted to sound like the way we talk when we're thinking to some degree.
Yeah.
And
so we laid out all of our feelings immediately afterwards, and then we took that list of all of our feelings and we made an organizer from that.
Okay. That's wow, that's interesting. So, let's sort of, again, like, you guys have over sort of 1,000 subscribers, and, I mean, my question would be, like, when you guys are making content, right, like, do you sometimes feel like you have a burden to your audience, or you guys don't think about that?
There can be that to some degree, as we're sitting here going, okay, we know that there's definitely a demand for us to talk more about troll hunters or about certain things. We actually recently made a poll asking people what they want us to talk about, because we're looking at redirecting to some degree what we talk about. We've been doing a big focus on strong women in media, but that hasn't really been going anywhere, in large part because YouTube's algorithm hates women and hates especially women of color. And so when you make 3 videos in a row about women of color, the algorithm doesn't recommend you. Awkward.
Yeah.
So we're like, we're going to go back to basics. We're going to talk about troll hunters. We're going to talk about, the stuff, we're probably going to go into like, maybe Ben 10 or Generator Rex. It's just like, we love those shows. We just wanted to be able to talk about more than just those shows.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. You mentioned something very interesting about the algorithm, sort of being more prone to people sort of taking advantage of, again, because again now it's weird because like you can go on YouTube and you start scrolling down, you start seeing again videos of like very bigoted videos about hating on women, hating on people of color. Right, and I always sort of bring this up whenever I talk to YouTubers, and they all have sort of different answers of sort of combating this. How do we sort of combat this sort of wave of hate? I know this been a thing for a while, especially on the internet. But how do we sort of combat that? How do we how do we like tell people to not engage in that type of thing?
We don't want to give up our moral beliefs or what we feel. And in our opinion, people are people regardless of what they look like or who they are or where they come from.
Yeah.
And so we decided that we would just keep making those videos. I mean, our first video that we witnessed it was a video we did on Iwaju, which did fit within our standard. It's a Western
Disney
animation.
release.
Yeah.
And immediately the views for that video just tanked. And we had this horrible creeping realization of what it was.
Yeah.
But we didn't want to give up.
It's like, because no one will ever know that these characters exist, that these movies exist or TV shows exist that have characters that a lot of people have been crying out wanting to see if no one talks about them.
Yeah.
And so for all those things I've seen where people say, why isn't there, say, a TV show about a strong black girl who isn't, in an urban setting? You're like, look, here it is. It's right here. You know, or why isn't there an anime about, a girl who does this or, whatever.
Yeah.
If we can at least reach 1 or 2 people, it's a lot better than reaching no one at all by pretending it doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm. Granted, we are going to we recognize that if anyone's going to see this stuff, we have to start appealing more to the general public as well.
Yeah.
And so kind of our hope is like we'll gain more followers by talking about more of what's trendy, for lack of a better word, and then sprinkle in videos about cool, badass ladies.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. So
Realistic approach.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What was the inspiration to start YouTube to begin with? Was it like a video you guys saw? Was it like a YouTuber that content sort of affected you in a positive way? What was it?
So, let's see. A few years ago, I had been watching this children's preschool show called Elena Bavalor. I like to watch, I sew a lot, and so I pick simple TV shows I can have on in the background that I have to pay a lot of attention to and sew to. And Elena, like the first 2 seasons, you've got this really cool, badass princess girl. And in season 3, like, it took such a bizarre, morally bad, wrong turn where you're like, are these really the lessons we want to teach 5-year-olds, 5 to 8-year-olds? And I was kind of horrified. So then I went to Google to see if, anyone else was seeing what I was seeing. And I discovered that this show had, like, a militant fan base of adult women who, if you ever criticized it, they would shut you down and yell at you and hate you forever.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you know what? I'm so mad about this. I think there's something very wrong here, so I'm just going to make a video about it.
Oh,
and,
really? You wrote a 30-page essay.
Yeah, because I was like, first I was like, I'll just make a really long Tumblr post. That'll work. And then I was like, no one will see that. And then on top, and then I'm like, wait, Fox has a degree in communications. Fox knows how to make videos.
Yeah.
And so.
Wow.
First video, we so much from there, but.
Wow.
So yeah, we barely knew what we were doing. We were using the mic that was like built into the laptop.
Okay.
Yep.
That's interesting. So it's funny because this summer has really been the summer of again, did you guys see the Superman movie that came out?
Oh yeah.
You guys like it?
Yep. Really good.
Okay. So it feels like that the Superman movie's really been sort of the story of the summer, as it should be. It's a great movie, and it's funny because before the movie got even announced, there was this subsection of, again, you must have have you guys heard of the Snyder Cult?
Oh yeah, people were just. I was literally just reading something today where people were saying, oh, well, the James Gunn Superman would lose in a fight against the bad guys from the Snyder one. They're just that.
I feel like sort of. It's funny because when the movie got announced, and I'll never forget, there's this comment I saw saying that, DC's making the biggest mistake ever, and it was the Snyder fan. I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. And then next thing you know, the movie comes out, and great reviews, and it just crossed 600+ million in the box office. It's the highest grossing superhero movie of the year. The first time DC had that honor since 2008 when The Dark Knight came out, right? So it's again, it's weird because the narrative from those people has just now shifted. It's just turned into this very, you mentioned it, very militant type of thing. How does that type of thing even happen to begin with? Granted, okay, I like some of Snyder's films. I love Man of Steel. I really like Watchmen, 300. I really like the Zack Snyder's Justice League when it came out. But I never thought of him as this sort of this auteur of filmmaking. Sure, everybody has their own opinion and stuff. But how does that even happen, in your opinion?
The way the internet's broken up into lots and lots of groups, and so everyone fits into their niche. And at that particular point in time, the Snyder fans were feeling attacked by something that is erasing their canon from being the main most important canon.
Yeah.
And since they wind up in these echo chambers and Discord servers or wherever else where they're all agreeing with each other, and because canon has become, I think, even more important today than ever before in a lot of fandom discourse, where you can't, it feels like you're not allowed to say Star Wars old legacy stuff because it's not real anymore, right?
You just have to go in with nothing but negativity with regards to Star Wars, with nothing but, well, it doesn't exist, the end, can't even.
And so I think they're afraid of that.
Angry, and that's, if you're louder, you're going to appear, and they had no reason to be loud before this, but now they have something that they want to speak about, and so they're appearing.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah, so they feel very threatened. They feel like they need to get defensive, and they're also, to some degree, bothered by what it all represents. They see this, very macho, badass version of Superman, for instance, who doesn't, who isn't a perfect Boy Scout. And then suddenly they're presented with this softer, emotional one, and that gets, of course, into the politics of what is a real man and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's
so
interesting.
They touch themselves onto that idea.
It's interesting because it really became something else. There's this story that I cannot believe this actually happened, but there's a story. Have you heard of this person, this Twitter account called Ski Walker the Jedi? I don't know if you guys are on Twitter like that, but alright, so
no, our brother's on Twitter, but we pretty much get everything very occasionally third news from him.
Okay. So the way story goes is that this person was with another person. This person went to this was the Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con. This is when James Gunn was talking about Peacemaker and John Cena. He pulled up wearing the costume and stuff. And this guy did this stream right after he was saying all this weird pseudo-threatening stuff. It was really bad. It became to a point where this person was doxing Twitter users.
Oh.
Over this.
That's not a thing.
And this guy has been, this person's been hating on James Gunn since God knows when, right? And he's like, essentially he insinuated that he was gonna like threaten him, he's gonna cause a scene, he was gonna get kicked out. Like it was just so bad, right? And he tried defending himself. Oh, I didn't do that, even though there was literal video of him saying that he would do that. And I think one of his videos got taken down, and now he's just back to his little corner of the internet. But like that just showed me, like, man, this is not that serious, man. Like much as people might not like Star Wars fans, they're not pulling up to Rian Johnson's house demanding he should be like arrested for Last Jedi. Like, no one's doing that.
James Gunn is just a creator. I mean,
yeah,
he's got a very particular and unique method of directing that you either like it or you don't. But if you don't like it, you don't have to
hate on it.
Yeah.
To anybody who does, especially not the creator himself.
And so it's like they've wrapped the liking of the movie up so much in their own personal identity that it feels like, I think it truly just feels like an attack on themselves. And
Yeah. Well, especially with the internet, it's like, when you have niche groups that are built entirely around liking certain pieces of media, then you have to kind of connect yourself and who you are with the media that you're talking about. And so it becomes so much more than just a piece of media.
In an old fandom, it might have even been more general. It might have been, I'm a fan of anime in general, because you could only get 5 animes in general in America, or something, or I'm a fan of science fiction. But it's like, I think especially with the internet, it's like definitely super honed in down to only one show at a time, and I think it's
very quickly. I think,
because there was the Super Hulock, which was probably one of the primary kits, and then after that, no one wanted to make a fandom that was like Super Hulock again, because Doctor Who, Supernatural, and Sherlock all combined, because lots of women, of course, just love all 3 of those at the same time. And I think there's a certain fear of being perceived as a cringy fan. Yeah. And so in order to avoid that, you don't mix and match things. You only hone in on one thing.
Okay. To some extent, everything you do has to be kind of monitored, because everyone wants to be on social media. Everyone wants to get followers. Everyone wants to be popular and right and cool. It's like we're just looking at high school cliques, but on the screen.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. So I want to sort of bring up, when I was going through your guys' channel, I noticed there was this sort of kind of craftsmanship, the way you guys make videos. There isn't, again, your content is not reactionary at all, which I really like. I hate when, certain channels just, again, all they do is just make videos on hating on things, hating on fandoms, hating on specific people, right? We all heard of those channels who do that. How do you sort of avoid those type of things? Because it's easy to, when you dislike something, all that sort of context just gets thrown out the window. All that nuance gets thrown out the window. And how long does it take to make a video on your channel?
Those are 2 different questions.
Yeah.
For the time, that's the easier one to answer, so we'll go with that one first. We both work full-time, 40-hour work weeks, so our videos, they do move very slowly. We wish we could do it faster, but it's just not realistic for us.
We if the job didn't exist, we could probably produce easily a video a week. But it's the way it works. I'll write a script. Fox will edit it to make it sound cohesive, because she has a degree in that. And then record it, and then Fox finds all the video graphic media and edits that in, and I make all the little graphic, the the funny pictures and the...
Yeah.
Of course, sometimes we shake it up. Sometimes I'll write something.
And then I'll edit it, and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Yep, in some videos, it's like, it might have a topic that requires an insane amount of research. Like, the Anastasia video, I think, took me about 4 months to fully research and then write. Just because, well, I wasn't going to half-ass it. I was like, okay, this is a real woman who existed. I want to make sure I fully understand the topic before I just start saying, random stuff about the movie without knowing anything.
We're not perfect. We've made mistakes and inaccuracies with what we say, but we do like to try to make sure that we know what we're saying before we say it.
And as for avoiding just negative reactionary content, we try to be original, not derivative. We try to be a little educational.
I just don't like needless just being mad. I feel like
let's be positive.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this earlier today, actually, but it's like, it's disappointing when people don't further engage with media because they're missing so much of what makes media so cool and interesting. It's like if you get hung up and stuck on something arbitrary, like, I don't like this, I'm an angry, I'm angry, then you're missing so many other things from the why does it have this problem, what's actually happening here. And when you can actually break down a piece of media and see what creates that media and what makes it genuinely good or what makes it genuinely bad, that's just so much more interesting to me than something so baseline as a reaction.
Yeah, and often the negative reactions can also just expect too much of creators. Like, they seek absolute perfection from even the most, inane children's cartoon in the world. And
they just want clicks. They know that if they go up there and they say, well, that was a cute kid show, it won't give them clicks.
So if they say, this show's the worst show ever, it'll make you want to kill your mom, then that'll people. Yep, that'll get them instant reactions. It's people going, what's the show that makes you want to kill my mom? And
Okay.
Exaggerated.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting. That's a great answer because. So, my next question is actually your most recent video, the Tron video that actually kind of reintroduced me to your guys' channel. What's your guys' history behind, again, liking the franchise, and when did you first got introduced to it, and what are you expecting out of, again, the Tron Ares that's going to come out in October?
Let's see, I think we first got into Tron, I think I was in high school.
We were in high school.
Yeah, early high school, I think.
We watched Uprising because we were going to go to TourCon. So
that and so that would have been, was probably either, and I can't remember exactly why we decided to, I can't remember why we decided to watch Tron. I think we just wanted to know what the cool glow-in-the-dark people were. We saw a cosplay. That's right. There was a cosplayer who cosplayed Korra that was featured on Heroes of Cosplay, and she made a dress inspired by Korra.
Was that what it was?
It might have been one of the triggering things. And then we wanted to find out, basically we wanted to know what the glow-in-the-dark people are. But we had to watch it in order, of course. We knew Legacy was a sequel, so we watched the original Tron.
Yeah.
Then we watched Tron Legacy. And then Uprising came out later, and it was just Tron Forever. I just fell in love with this, wild world inside a computer. I've always loved the idea of worlds that are there but unseen.
Yeah.
And computers in general. Our dad's a web developer, and while it's not the same type of programming, we've both tried to learn coding, and so latched on.
Mm-hmm. The practical effects that they use, the technology they always push, it's such a quirky franchise, but it always does something that makes it so much more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so it's it's objectively a technically terrible movie, like both of them, but they're made with such heart, especially when you learn the history of Steven Leisberger and how he sort of relayed his relationship with good and evil out in both Tron and Legacy, because while he wrote the script to what would become Legacy, like right after he wrote Tron.
Yeah.
But it obviously was a movie, and then they later on revised it a lot and so on. But you can still see it's got the Holocaust allegory. It's got like just extreme what is good, what is evil, what is God, man playing God, just all these things.
Yeah.
We very youngly thought we'd want to cosplay characters from Uprising, and then we remembered that we were high schoolers with $2.
Okay.
Because on our list of dream goals is to make full-on Tron suits.
Someday.
Yeah, when we have like more than $2. Yep.
Okay.
I wound up in college writing. I took a class on the Cold War, and they had us. It was a fabulous class, but the teacher had all of us as our big project pick a movie that came out during the Cold War. So that's like literally from like the early 60s through like the mid to late 80s, and then write about how it was a product of its time, basically in relation to the Cold War. And I was like, I can pick Tron.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I got to write like a 10-page paper all about how Tron fully reflects, aspects of the Cold War, but very different one. Because like most of the time when people talk about Cold War era movies that are about computers, they pick like war games, which shows how computers can be dangerous and dark and misunderstood. And whereas Tron, of course, fully was made by computer nerds and who fully loved and embraced computers.
So it's optimistic towards computers. It's sort of like, a computer's a neutral force. What are we going to do with it, and how can it be abused?
Exactly.
Wow, that's a great answer, man. A 10-page essay about the original Tron that has something to do with the Cold War. That's the thing about sort of franchises like that is like, people can have sort of connections to it that you didn't even really expect from the people themselves. Like, I always bring up the fact, like, I mean, people, like, again, did you guys see F1?
That's the the car racing movie.
Yeah, Kaczynski, yeah. Did you guys see it?
We have not, unfortunately. I wanted to, but then life got away from me.
We're always busy.
Okay.
We're working on things 20%, so.
Okay, it's fair. It's fine. But I look at, like, again, like, Tron Legacy was Kaczynski's first film. Like, people forget, like, the way he got, his journey to direct Tron Legacy was crazy because he did this, do you guys, like, watch Criterion Closet stuff?
I do not know what that is.
So Criterion Closet's it's like this makeshift, like, it's like a library, but for, like, DVDs. Like, all the, like, indie and art house and even some blockbusters. They even had, like, Michael Bay's, like, Armageddon in the Criterion collection. And Kaczynski, like, he told this story where, like, he met up with David Fincher when he was making Zodiac. And that's how he got the job of directing one of, like, the Metal Gear War commercials when the games came out during that time. And Disney saw that, right? And it was a recommendation from one of his people, right? And they Kaczynski and Lesberger, they brought this idea forward for a Tron sequel. And, again, people forget this, but Disney did not announce the official Tron Legacy movie before, right after they did this, like, this visual, like, teaser thing, like this trailer before a trailer type of thing. It's still on YouTube. You guys can, like, look it up. It's really interesting. And he directs Tron Legacy, right? And it kind of propels him to a whole new level. He does Oblivion with Tom Cruise. Then he does this movie with this firefighter, forest fire movie with, like, Miles Teller and Jeff Bridges. And then he directs Top Gun Maverick, which again propels him to a whole new level, right? Like, he is an Oscar nominated director. That is crazy to me. Thinking about it now, like, that's crazy, right? And also the crazy thing is he was supposed to direct Tron 3, but Tomorrowland flopped, so that they kind of put the movie on.
They got all scared of it.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't touch.
right?
I was among the people who was disappointed with what they wound up doing with Tomorrowland. I definitely wanted to get to see the actual cool retro city of science and not the strange, what they did.
Yeah, right? And now you have F1, right? This was a big gamble. People forget this movie had like a $200+ million budget and only had Brad Pitt, who the world knows who Brad Pitt is, but not many people know Dame Idris. He was again phenomenal in Snowfall. I don't know if you guys watched that. You guys should watch that show. The movie has now made $600+ million at box office. This is an F1 movie we're talking about, right? So it's like it's a whole different thing, and I always wonder, like, if Tron 3 succeeds, I have a very funny feeling that he's going to direct the fourth one, and he's going to bring back Sam Flynn, and they're saying that Sam Flynn's in this one coming out this October. Like, do you see that happening?
It's possible. I heard an interesting theory that Ares actually takes place at the same time as Legacy, and that's why we don't see like Bruce Boxleitner and all of them. It's because he's off doing that stuff. And I think that's and it's like when I think about the trailer, I don't think they show anything that has to place it in modern, not 20 years, not quite 20, not back in the 2010s. And so I think it's like a pretty plausible theory. And so I think it'd be very awesome to see Sam and them come back.
Yeah.
Especially if we're going to be in different grids. I mean, if there's a travel element, it's possible that they even show up briefly, but...
Okay.
It's like, I saw, when we just see, in the trailer, we see Ares looking at, a bunch of human faces.
Yeah, I saw that was sick.
Yeah, Sam apparently does appear in it, the younger kid Sam.
Yeah.
At least I heard someone suppose that. She's an ISO on Tumblr, is, one of the... She will dig out any Tron facts ever. And so...
Yeah.
That's, she's frequently one of the first places I hear any cool facts, and then
wow, interesting.
I'm hopeful for Ares. I am the relentless optimist to Fox's general pessimist, and so I'm very optimistic about it.
Yeah.
I'm terrified of Jared Leto.
Aren't we all mad at this point?
Yeah, you know that if you watched our video, so...
Yeah.
It's fingers crossed.
Yeah. The one thing I'll say, though, is that, at least with this one, we haven't heard any stories of him going, full on, method, like he was trying to do. At least he's been quiet, which, again, is a good thing.
Yeah. But after his experience doing that before, you'd think he'd be a little bit discouraged, hopefully.
I know I saw a pile of articles that were very recent of him trying to claim that was all exaggerated. None of that happened. And so I think, even though there's lots of articles saying that, yeah, he did do that. So I think he's trying to cover his tracks a little bit and look like a normal, sane human being.
Okay.
But,
yeah. Interesting. Have you guys been following the news of the Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man 4? Have you guys been following that, or?
A little bit. I know that one thing that sticks out to me about it is the fact that they're filming it over in Europe. I think in Scotland or Ireland.
Yeah.
Rather than, because the pre-Spider-Man movies actually were filmed approximately where we live. We're not going to dox ourselves, but did. Yeah.
Okay.
Because technically, but it's kind of a weird thing that they're trying to pass off New York City as Scotland.
Yeah.
But
nothing. Yeah.
Okay.
But I also know that I've seen all kinds of interesting stuff. I know that they're very practical affecting it, and that Spidey's in his cool classic suit.
Well, they've definitely heard all the criticism. Everybody thinks the Marvel movies are nothing but CGI fighting CGI anymore. Oh, the cat is climbing back there.
Okay. Wow.
So they're making movements to use more practical effects. We saw in Fantastic Four, which
Yeah, the fact that Herbie is a full-fledged little robot is insane,
Yeah.
and the car is a real car.
It's promising.
Especially going from, was it Secret Wars, where they had Nick Fury holding a CGI gun. Like, you couldn't give him an actual shotgun. You CGI'd the gun in, even.
But the fact that, I mean, especially with the AI wars, it's like practical is even more of a way to say we're not just
We are
using
real.
computers.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
like now more than ever, practical effect means something.
Okay.
And they have to do something like that if they're going to stand a chance anyways, especially if Superman being so successful. If the Superman movies keep happening, their competition's getting steeper and their movies are getting weaker, or at least getting less views. And so they need to do something.
Yeah.
And practical effects is a good
Step
step
forward.
forward
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, it's interesting because if you know, it's funny because like the one thing I'll always fight against is like there's this sort of this narrative that like again like there's a, I don't know for some reason there on the last couple years there's been this narrative like Disney is dying, Disney is going under, and I'm like they make billions upon billions of dollars off of their merchandise alone, right? Just because their movies aren't doing well doesn't mean it's gonna make an actual dent to their bottom line. Now, their reputation, I would say, has kind of it's kind of died down a little bit. But like, why do you think that sort of narrative is there in the first place? Do you think it's just sort of good old rage bait?
I think it's people who like want to be against the crowd and say, I never liked Disney movies anyway.
And I think it's also complicated because they're making a lot of movies that aren't necessarily very good movies, like the live-action remakes, but are getting people to go to the theaters because what you see on the internet is a different crowd from the people who are actually putting money into this.
Yeah.
And so the people online absolutely hate it. They're not the middle-aged moms or the kids that are going to actually watch that. And so the audiences that go to watch it keep pumping money into it, keep causing these movies to come out.
Yeah.
But these people that, you know, they're more movie connoisseur-y. You know, it's like no shame to the middle-aged mom who needs to give her kid a kid's movie, but someone who's more movie, where they're going to look at that and go, that is a really bad movie, though. And so it's still just the audience that's on the internet versus the reality.
Okay.
And even then, they make so much of their money just from merchandising and franchise stuff. Like the Disney Princess franchise is like the second biggest like franchise in the world or something, like after Pokemon, I think. And so when you think about how much money that has to be,
so they're not necessarily dying or losing, and that's almost part of the problem. Is if they're not suffering enough, then they aren't being pushed into competition. They're not being made to have to make higher quality things. They're able to succeed by putting in the bare minimum. So why would they bother putting in the money to do anything more?
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because, like, there was a stretch of time where Disney was really pushing this sort of original films. Like, for example, the Sorcerer's Apprentice, and you have Tomorrowland, and John Carter, and that movie with Armie Hammer and Johnny Depp. What was it? Oh, yeah, The Lone Ranger. And all those movies bombed, right? But most of those movies weren't that bad. It was just, like, again, as you say, like, the budgets were too high, and they were trying to do things that didn't really make sense within the source material. Like, I look at John Carter as an example. I remember watching that in the theater. And
I wonder if, like, now that I think about it, I wonder if John Carter wasn't one of those things where they own the rights to it, because they probably got the rights bundled in with when they got the rights to Tarzan. I'm entirely theorizing. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But because they're written by the same guy. I wonder if they didn't make John Carter as one of those ways to refresh their ownage of the rights.
Oh, that's an interesting thought.
Because it's like, I saw John Carter without even knowing it was based on a book, and I enjoyed it, but I like slow-paced sci-fis, and will sit through any of them if you put me in front of it. And so I was like, oh, I wonder if they'll make more of them. And I'm like, oh yeah, like 3 people, and probably mostly China liked that movie.
Yeah.
And
Sorcerer's Apprentice. Cute.
That one was fun.
Yeah.
And it also had Tesla coils, which was super cool. I love the Tesla coil scene. But
it didn't do anything like
bam,
mind blowing, but does a movie have to? Well, I guess if you want to get a new franchise team, because a new franchise, anybody will go and see something that they know because they trust that it's going to be good because they already like it. But, I mean, once you get old enough to have been burned by enough media, you get scared of the risk.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you can tell them desperately trying to be like, hey, we're going to put together a new franchise. You're like, what's it going to be? Did you fully think it out? Kind of like the very awkward Mummy remake.
Yeah.
Which isn't Disney, but like,
it's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Odin?
It's funny. It's funny because one of the premier Disney franchises now is Star Wars. So they announced that they're making a new one. It's called Star Wars Starfighter. It has like Ryan Gosling and Maya Goth and Amy Adams, and it's again a stacked cast. And Sean Levy's directing it. It feels like just talking about Star Wars is just again a minefield because we mentioned all of the other things from before. Do you guys have hope for that movie? And if and my other question would be: is this the last chance for Star Wars to be viewed a certain way in the public consciousness?
Star Wars is too big for it to be the last chance, but I don't have any faith in any new Star Wars content.
I've liked the bulk of the TV shows that they've come out with. I think the only one that we really didn't like was Ahsoka, but we're massive Star Wars Rebels fans. But like Skeleton Crew and Andor and Mando are all great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Boba Fett was really disappointing.
The real question is, will it be a movie-level story? I think, a lot of people are thinking at the Mandalorian and Grogu movie that they're coming out with. Like, is it going to be movie? Is it going to be a story that works well for a movie format? Or should it have been another television show? And then I know a lot of people are getting sort of overwhelmed with the sheer amount of television shows you have to watch.
Because there's too many. It's just, that's probably why a lot of people didn't watch Skeleton Crew. It's like it's another Star Wars show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Even though it's one where it's like you can watch it with your kids about the videos. Oh, Acolyte was bad.
Oh, Acolyte was horrible.
Yeah, but Acolyte also took place during the High Republic without any research. That was one of those cases where they put someone who didn't even like Star Wars on Star
Wars. What are
Wars.
they doing
with
the new one?
Yeah, and that's
are these people secret super Star Wars know-it-alls? And even then, like, Ahsoka just completely destroyed the lore from Rebels. And Sabine, I loved Sabine, and then what they did with her just completely
and
broke
Tron is also one of my favorite characters, and it's like, I've read the books, and so when you're just thinking, like, he spent how long in another game? Like, I always assumed that he and Ezra were running around in, outer, far beyond space, dealing with some problem there, or maybe not able to get back to the main galaxy.
Yeah.
Not that they were just kind of sitting for
doing
nothing for a decade.
Sabine gets depression and gives up on everything and ends up fighting with Ahsoka for some reason because drama.
Okay. Interesting. The thing about Star Wars is one of those things I always feel like the biggest problem I have with it is it limits itself. Think about this, right? You have this massive universe. You can tell any type of story. And they keep telling the same 10 stories. It always has to be connected to a Skywalker or Darth Vader. It is always, again, they always have to bring those images back, those silhouettes back, and I understand that. But why can't they just, honestly, if I was directing it, I would just end it. End the story, end everything, make it like a two-parter, bring people back, whatever, just end it. But they can't do that. You're telling me we can't have an R-rated Star Wars movie? Come on.
Well, with the world of Star Wars, it's like there's just this endless time periods, endless potential. It is truly, like you're saying, your imagination is your limit. And the books, the old lore, understood that for sure. But
and some of the comics and the SWOTOR kind of, and all that. And I know people have been vying for, say, Darth Revan to have a movie, or...
But I think they might think it's too risky. It's that whole, is it worth putting in all the money to make... Because a lot of these TV shows, if you look at Andor, it's got, movie quality editing and then work put into it. And so if you're going to risk doing that, they want to know that it's going to succeed. And they know that if the majority of their audience sees that it's connected to this story, they have a reason to have to watch.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's separate, they don't have to watch. And so they might not. And if they might not, why would we bother?
Yeah.
Which is just so disappointing. It's just, it's so corporate. It's so heartless.
It's like, I always feel like, again, it feels like, I mentioned it before when I start talking about it, but like, I feel like the issue with some of these franchises, even the big ones that I like, there's this thing where like, they're sort of beholden to their fan base, right? And I'm like, that is sort of anti-art. Like, I feel like art is how, I think anybody should express how they feel. If it's, obviously there's exceptions, but I think art should be limited to what someone says on the internet, right? But also, obviously, you have the shareholders, they have to make some type of profit, right? Like, we see, there's been a ton of movies that have a lot of money invested, like the Indiana Jones movie, for example, recent one. It didn't make any money, right? And I had a great director, had a good cast, right? But it didn't work. And people, again, obviously, they voiced their displeasure, right? And the thing is, like, I feel like the thing with sort of making art and making content in general is that I think there should be a level of fearlessness, right? There should be a level of, again, okay, I want to make this because I want to make it type of thing, right? Obviously, there's all these kind of levels you have to pass through. I mean, I look at a movie like, have you guys seen the trailer for Him? It's like this Jordan Peele produced like sort of sports horror movie. Have you guys seen the trailer of it?
I am not.
I'm sorry, we're clearly involved in different with the number of things you mentioned.
Oh, it's the football one. Yep.
Yeah.
I saw. Yep. I've seen pictures of it, but I've not yet actually.
Yeah.
Seen it.
Right. And I look at that, it's like, it's something that's unique, right? It's like, there hasn't been a sports horror movie, like, ever, right? And we're literally going to have one coming out literally in a couple weeks, and I'm like, that's the blueprint. If it's good or not good, that really doesn't matter, right? It's like...
I think the best is passion. You need it to show the heart behind the creator, and that makes the best possible art. If the artist cares, then they're going to put something into it that's worth seeing. Yeah.
So like, back to Tron. What is your bold prediction of what's gonna happen in the movie?
Let's see. We're gonna find. Let's see. For sure, we know that Dillinger is. Okay. Ares is going to... Okay, Dillinger is going to have, I think, some specific mission that's going to... We know Ares is on some specific mission. I think Ares is going to have to do something to prove to all of, the scary U.S. agents and everything who are interested in buying him that he's a fully viable person. So maybe Dillinger's given him, a test mission as, a way to show him off. And he has to deal with obstacles on the way to deal with that. But on the way, he learns about feelings and all that. He needs a nice female cop who's like, whoa, man, why are you, such a hard ass? You should be nice to people. And he'll be like, whoa, my heart has feelings now. And he's maybe going to have to go into other grids for some reason. Maybe he's it's, not totally sure. But we know that he's going to talk to Kevin Flynn or program with Kevin Flynn's face.
Yeah.
It's not Clue. Maybe it's, but... Yeah. And he'll be like, hey, man, it's okay to have feelings. Usually programs do.
A simple story that shows off the technology is what I'm hoping for, just like with the other Trons.
I suspect Ares and Athena, the girl Ares program, are going to wind up I suspect Athena's going to be the one who doesn't turn to the good side, and they'll have to, kill each other or something.
Yeah.
Because, what little we know about her is that she's, a stickler for the rules, and so she'll probably be the, I'm the hard,
Actually,
Captain
makes me think,
Phasma.
you know, I mentioned it, that one scene in the trailer of her mimics Paige in Uprising. She's in the same pose, and Paige is also, you know,
Yeah.
the stickler for the rules who won't turn, even though she knows she should. And so if that's, that would be interesting if they paralleled each other more.
Yeah, it's like,
my surprise
whenever I theorize anything I want to see, I usually am wildly wrong. And so, or I'm too right to an upsetting point, and then people get mad at me.
Okay.
And so,
yeah. My surprise prediction is that I don't think the true villain of this story is going to be revealed until the very end. I really think, because I look at Tron like the sci-fi version of like Mission Impossible, where there are sort of in the whole Mission Impossible series, right? There isn't a overarching villain, right? It's very like very villain of the week type of thing. The true villain, I would argue, of the Mission Impossible series is Solomon Lane, right? Like, everything kind of leads up to him, and right after, there's literally 2 movies that sort of, again, deals with the fallout of his character. I think Cillian Murphy's Dillinger Jr., whatever his name is, I think he's the villain of, again, if this next one, if this one does really well, he's going to be the villain of Tron 4, but he's going to be like the villain, like he pulls everything sort of behind the scenes, strings, puppets, all that stuff, right? And that's why, like, I would love, I don't think it will ever happen, right? Because she's contracted to, like, the MCU. But I would love to see, like, Haley Steinfeld be a villain of this franchise. I really feel like it would sort of be something that's challenging, but be something that's, like, we haven't really seen it, you know? That type of thing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that's interesting. Like, 'cause with knowing that the story has something bigger going on, it just makes sense that there would be something else that they haven't revealed. So another villain, that honestly makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm. Like I know some people are hoping for some modern rendition of the MCP. I half wonder if that'd be too predictable.
Might be.
But we also know with the modern AI thing, you could totally believe NCOM developing its own version of, like, Siri, but it's evil.
Right.
Yeah.
And what would an AI be as a program, since an AI is a robot that's trying to behave like a human?
It would basically be the MCP, because the MCP, that was its purpose. It directly spoke to Dillinger, just it didn't talk, it typed to Dillinger in the first
That's
movie.
a good point. So, I mean, duh, it already was an AI.
And so...
But...
Interesting.
Yeah, so maybe some sort of terrifying new version of the MCP or something.
Some AI incorporate.
So...
Yeah.
What is your guys' like favorite movie to watch? Like favorite movie ever?
Oh, that's tough. Okay. If it's like, let's see, there's Hyodin. There's The Princess Bride.
Okay.
There's Tangled.
Yeah.
There's
Mulan. My favorite movie is actually A Silent Voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. What are movies that I love? It's so funny. It's like, you know, someone asks that question, every movie you've ever seen flies out of your head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, I love Stardust, which is very similar to Princess Bride. I love a bit of humor, I love a bit of fun and action. I'm looking for like a more serious movie.
I like tragedy and sadness.
Okay. Balance each other out very well.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Interesting. Have you guys been keeping up with Stranger Things? Like, I know the last season's gonna come out like at the end of the year. Like, are you guys hopeful it's gonna stick the landing?
Bobby Millie Brown got engaged. That's your complete side. Like, wow, how old is she? 20?
She's 21.
Yeah.
She's like a year younger than me. That's crazy.
I know Fox hasn't. I'm wondering who the random death that we're going to dramatically take serious, you know, be expected to take ridiculously seriously will be this season. Which is terrible to say, but it's like every season has had one person die who we're supposed to go, oh, I did not see that coming. Yep, it was the it was the stepdad and then the brother and then the D&D man. Like,
Yeah.
It sounds horrible.
Okay.
So maybe it's a good thing I haven't kept up.
Yeah. It's funny that you guys mentioned Millie, because I really feel like the discourse around there is so warped. Like, if people are going after her marriage, people are going after her facial, like, it's like people are trying to rewrite history about her acting, like it's like, what happened here? Like, how did that switch up happen? And I realized, like, oh, like, okay, people are like, again, it's the same cycle.
Every time a female child actress gets old enough to actually have a life and do grown-up things. Arya from Game of Thrones went through the exact same thing, almost paint by numbers, and it's so frustrating because it's like, especially it usually comes from male fans who like initially see her as like a little sister kind of figure, and then suddenly there's like an adult scene, and then they're like, whoa, or the actress is, having babies, and they're like, whoa, but you're supposed to perpetually be like 12 years old.
Yeah.
And it's so often focused at female actors, and we see the more extreme versions with, like Miley Cyrus or Madonna, where they start out simple and then they become a little bit, it's like freedom.
Yeah.
And then they go crazy. But there's just so much expectation placed on a young actor or actress to be so perfect. And when they're so young and they're still learning about the world, it's like, you got to remember this is still a child.
Like, I remember they had a countdown for Emma Watson to turn 18, therefore legal. Like,
yeah.
And that's like,
yikes.
And so that's like sort of an opposite thing, because with her it was, we think she's hot. But I think it's because in that case, it's people who are the same age as her in a way watching her, and they grew up with her. And so it doesn't have the little sister connotation. It's more,
with Stranger Things, you're already an adult watching it because
it's for older kids or for adults. Mm-hmm. And so you plant her instead in the little kid forever zone. But then
she's an adult.
Yeah.
Wow.
Getting married.
Time moves.
Yeah, it does. It really does. It also, there's this thing where, like, there's people who sort of low-key wish that she has her sort of quote-unquote, like, downfall, like Britney Spears or Pamela Anderson and stuff like that, where they can make content off of that, say, well, we told you so. We told you this would happen. I'm like, this, do you not, like, think that's kind of, like, messed up? Like, I don't like rooting people to fail. Like, maybe it feels like I'm kind of in the minority where, like, again, hating on something is, like, the new norm now.
Yeah, they don't surprise every time it happens. JoJo Siwa, I don't watch any of her content, but when people are like, how did the little girl person who does the little childish girl thing suddenly become a scary adult? And it's like, she's acting out because she's been forced to act a certain way her entire life and is now allowed to try something new.
Yeah.
Why should we treat it so lightly, even, where it's like, we have to make it kind of about ourselves instead of seeing what's going on with them. I mean, if you're too busy going, haha, that's going to happen to her, like, do you care?
Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah.
It's got a weird twist in the parasocial relationship.
Yeah, where you no longer see this person. Well, you never saw this person as a normal person because you don't know them. There's a disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there is.
And
right.
You can say whatever you want about them. It's really easy to. There won't be any reaction.
Yeah. And
you're going to get more entertaining reactions from saying negative things to begin with, or from being anti-popular or what have you.
Then, did you guys see Highest to Lowest, Spike Lee, Denzel Washington movie? Okay.
I have not. I'm admittedly very blank on most Spike Lee movies.
Yeah, he did. So Denzel was on this press tour, and he mentioned something super interesting. It's a guy, his interviewer asked him a question about online sort of fandom and people and online chatter about certain people in general. He had a great answer. He said, "There's too many opinionaires. There's too many people that think just because you can talk about something does not mean you're on the same level as the people who are actually doing it, right? Be good at something.
Yeah.
It's hard, right? It's very hard to be good at something. Let alone be good at something, and the whole public is like, you have to face the public every time a movie comes out, right? So, you know, so
that's I love that. That's a great quote.
Absolutely. And it's so true. It's, especially, you know, it's like with social media's push for people to, like, say the next biggest thing to even get followers or to even be worthy of getting comments, for God's sake. It's like you have to constantly have a new shocking opinion. You have to constantly be moving. It's like so much of it is so created by a social need, and it's so fake, and it's not, you know, half of these opinions, they're not even created out of something very carefully or well thought out. They're not someone who's deeply involved in this. They may not be someone who's ever actually deeply analyzed a piece of media or written a piece of media themselves or anything. You know, plenty of these, you know, the higher end ones, they definitely are. I don't mean to, like, generalize, I guess I am, but it creates kind of problems. And
because a lot of people take these opinion errors as the word of God, basically, and they just start parroting back whatever they hear some YouTuber say. I say it's some YouTuber. And
it leaches into regular conversations even, where you're like, you know, here's my cool new friend. Do you want to have a conversation about your opinion on the latest movie? And they go, my opinion is exactly what I just heard the YouTuber that I watched before I watched the movie say, and I have no opinions of my own.
Yeah.
And it's just really, really disappointing. Because I love seeing people for who people are, and I love the possibility of the human mind and its explorations. And when you're just parroting someone who had to come up with something in 2 seconds because they have no time and they have a deadline, they need to get this out right now, it's like, it wasn't even necessarily brilliantly thought out to begin with, and you don't even know why you think this. Like, you're going to become a hypocrite out of nowhere if you just keep spewing whatever you think you should say instead of understanding why you're saying it.
Yes. It's something that I always bring up, where I look at sort of, I don't think we understand how good these people are at what they do. We always have this sort of perception of like what their careers should be instead of what they actually have done, right? Like I watched this, I don't know, do you guys watch sports?
Here and there.
Okay. So there's this sports debate show. This is some sports, this basketball debate show, right? And I forgot the guy's name. He brought up something very interesting. He said, when you're watching somebody sort of their career, like they play out, right? The way it does. We often talk about what they can't do. And then when their careers is done and everything that's said needs to be said, we talk about what they have done, right? And I think that can also apply to, again, movies and music and stuff where, like, you have these people achieving things that are not even real. Things are not even, they seem impossible to the regular person, but they're doing it every single day, right? I look at, like, for example, I think Beyonce had this tour, and I think her tour just ended recently, and it's like, it made the most amount of money in her career, yada, yada, yada. And I go, again, I'm on Reddit a lot, so, again, for some reason, like, Reddit has this weird hate boner gangster for some reason, I don't know why. And it's, this, that, and the third, and I'm like, she did something that not many people can say they did, instead of celebrating that, right? Because she's not somebody, like, you listen to her music, like, everything is so well crafted, so well thought out, lyrically, musically, production, melody, all of that. We talk, and then it's just a bunch of shit talk. It doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah.
Well, Well, Jake, you'll hear the YouTuber go on about the high-pressure environment, and there's the easy answer, well, you don't have a job, you get to do whatever you want. And it's like, but you take it a step further and you go deep into the industry, and these people, they do not get to breathe. They are working nonstop, constantly. If something goes wrong behind the scenes and you're even like just the cameraman at the news station, you have to fix it. You have no choice. There is no option. You fix it or else everything fails. And that pressure is on you 24/7. And when you're someone who's working with deadlines, trying to write a new album and get that new album mixed, sung, prepared, out, and make sure it's high quality and fueled by your passion and care at the same time.
With new dance moves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That you need to practice too, so that you can put it on for the performance that you have to also be doing. It's just, there are so many moving parts and so many people doing so much at once, and every single one of them is just constantly being told, have you done it yet? Now. And it's inconceivable the amount of pressure they're under. Most people would crack.
Yeah. They would. They really
so it's
would.
always easy to be the armchair guy going, yeah, but
they should have used a higher note, not a lower note.
Yeah.
She's her outfit makes her look fat.
Mm-hmm.
Why is she so fat? Whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Stupid, nitpicky bullshit that doesn't consider
Yeah.
any of it.
Okay. That's funny, there's a segue to another question I have. What music you guys listen to?
Everything.
A lot of soundtracks for stuff, everything from musicals to power metal to...
I have a side channel where I just do stupid playlists. I put them together, and then it's just easier for me and my family members to listen to them if I stick them on YouTube. So
Yeah.
that's how I share them with people. But no, it's like I love soundtracks. I have some J-pop. I love punk rock. Joe Strummer's my favorite musician ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Meanwhile, I have Dragon Force. I absolutely love over-the-top power metal, whether it's the old, whether it's like Def Leppard or modern,
Okay.
if it's got lots of heavy guitars in it, I'm invested.
The electric sound of Muse. Oh my God, I love it. Which isn't power metal.
But it's still,
Do you guys listen to hip-hop?
The other one, very, very little. Unfortunately, we are white as...
Do we watch what?
Hip-hop.
Hip-hop? Oh, hip-hop. Yeah. I have, hip-hoppy soundtracks. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, we are unfortunately white as white bread.
I would absolutely, the thing is, I believe there's a best in every genre. However, I do not know how to find the best in every genre.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of music that it would be great to explore with a guy.
It's fine. It's fine. I appreciate you guys are open to exploring something new. There's too many people who are so close-minded, right? An album I would actually recommend you guys listen to is the Clips record, Let God Sort of Mine. I think you guys would really like that. There's a cinematic quality to it. I don't know. It features guys like Nas and I don't know if you guys heard of this guy with Stove God Cooks or something like that. I think Griselda, you guys would like that too, because there's a lot of samples. They're sampling old movies.
Hey.
There's this one track that samples this Disney song, but I forgot the name. I think Mac Homie did it. I don't know, but yeah, I think you guys would like it. But yeah, the one album that actually introduced me to hip hop, funny enough, was Kanye West Yeezus. This was 2016, right? And when I first listened to that record, right, because people forget, Daft Punk produced a lot of that record. Right, it was Daft Punk, it was Arca, it was Kasafistan, it was Hudson Mohawk, and it was Mike D, and they had this sort of whole thing, right? And then this whole thing is that whole album, right? Regardless of how you feel about him now, right? My whole opinion of it has changed the last couple of years, obviously, right? That whole album is essentially a protest against the fashion industry and sort of conventional music in general, right? The same way I would view something like Tenet by Christopher Nolan as a protest against conventional filmmaking, conventional time in film, right? And it's a statement, right? Like,
The art
right?
corporation.
Yeah, that stuff, right? And it's funny because I also feel that way about do you guys listen to Lana Del Rey? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay. So it's like, I think music, to me, is probably the best type of medium for people to fully express themselves without any filter, right? Because what you're getting is what you're seeing most of the time, right? And I hope that, AI doesn't take over music, because that would just be a shame. But, there have been some AI stuff that I would say I like it, but at least it's not like somebody they're just generating music out of nothing, right? At least there's effort put into it.
Yeah, like the guy who sings it himself, but then uses AI to better match his voice to the people he's trying to mimic.
Yeah.
I don't hate that guy, but when they are straight up just make me a new Johnny Cash song, enter, it's
That's, it's still just taking from what previously existed. We're never going to see the potential of art if we're limited to what has been.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, so we are what is your guys' favorite movie of this year so far?
Of this year.
Yeah.
Okay.
K-pop Demon Hunters?
Might be K-pop.
Yeah,
Superman was very good, but I think K-pop Demon Hunters made me happier.
Well, the amount of cultural representation and symbolism and parallelism and how perfectly understood the songs were,
and how well done the animation is. The fact that they were yeah, it's CGI, but we've applied classic 2D effects, rules to it, by having blur screens where they're able to have characters move faster than they otherwise would have with normal CGI. And
yeah, wow,
it's artistic as much as it is goofy.
Yeah, okay, interesting. We're heading towards the end of the interview. So what I do is that I do this Q&A session, right? And what I do is I pit two artists or two people or two franchise, whatever, and you have to pick between either of those things. And the thing is that my rules are, you can't say both and you can't say neither. So when you guys make your choice, you're free to tell a story or tell a reason why you picked it. Okay, are you guys cool with that?
yeah.
Okay. Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon?
Cartoon Network.
Absolutely.
We were enormous fans of Young Justice and Teen Titans and all of that. We wrote a 40,000 word fan fiction that is a crossover.
I love that.
Our lives wouldn't be without Cartoon Network.
Yeah, we didn't have cable till I was 14. She would have been 11 or 12, and so it opened a world for us.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Tron or Tron Legacy?
Tron.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Tron. Tron's got they do a better job of the dual world thing, and the characters are more fleshed out.
Okay. Daft Punk or Aphex Twin?
I love Daft Punk's really cool helmets.
Yeah,
They're really cool
Daft
helmets.
Punk.
And had especially the gold ones.
Okay.
They do have aesthetic down.
Okay. Taylor Swift or Paul McCartney?
Taylor.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with Taylor, which I know it's she has managed to do what many musicians only wish they could do, which is stay relevant for decades and decades in multiple countries all over the world.
You can't help but admire her.
The eras, and then she is not afraid of the music she used to make when she first started out. That's, I think, one of the most impressive things to me about her is with the Eras tour, she quite happily sang, her her "You Belong with Me" country-esque music up to like her, what she sings now, and it's just like
there's no shame. It's just
this is who I am. This is where I came from.
Yeah.
And,
confidence.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. John Lennon or Freddie Mercury?
That's hard.
I'm leaning Freddie Mercury, but I don't have a reason why.
Oh god, that's like John's solo career is not great, in my humble opinion. I'm gonna go with Freddie.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got the most beautiful voice, and just
Okay.
fascinating man.
Okay. Adele or Amy Winehouse?
I'm not really a huge fan of either, but we can't say neither.
I'm gonna go with Adele for Skyfall.
Adele has a really cool, she can hit notes.
Yeah.
The Fire song where she sits on the chair with the candles in the music video.
I said Fire to the Rain.
Yeah.
I associate it with the Hunger because it came out at the same time that I was reading the Hunger Games.
It feels relatable. I mean, she has a dress on fire, and then
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Twilight or The Maze Runner?
Twilight. I never actually read Maze Runner, but Maze Runner I vaguely assumed was a knockoff of the Hunger Games, and so Twilight is a fully original concept that revitalized vampire and gothic genre and made tons of young adults reading and teenagers reading. Okay. That's always a win for me.
All right. Okay. All right. Raven from Teen Titans or Harley Quinn?
Raven. Raven was my first ever cosplay.
That's cool.
And so
we did the Teen Titans fanfic, and you think we're not going to pick the Teen Titans?
Okay. Tara or Beast Boy?
Beast Boy.
Beast Boy.
He's not a dick.
Okay.
Tara is like, I don't know, she's like, people act like she was like this incredibly big deal, and then she wasn't even in that many episodes, and she just kind of had okay powers. I don't know, you know what I mean? Like,
he's funny.
And he's funny, and he turns into cute animals.
Okay.
She's a dick to him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Interesting. The Beatles or Queen?
Queen.
Okay.
It's hard to I know I say it immediately, but
I get stuck on the fact that the Beatles, music would not be the same at all without the Beatles.
Their influence is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
The Beatles are irreplaceably important.
Yeah.
However, I would rather listen to a piece by Queen right now if I was,
Yeah. Okay.
That's kind of the thing.
Okay.
How long ago did Phony Beatlemania last, definitely.
Okay. All right. The Incredibles or Ratatouille?
Incredibles.
Okay.
I think he's perfect.
Yeah, and Ratatouille just leaves you asking way too many questions. But The Incredibles is just truly one of the best movies Pixar has ever made.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Okay. Cars or Rango?
Oh, let's see. I'm going to go Rango. Fox hasn't seen Rango.
That's why I'm going to have to go Cars. Because I haven't seen Rango, so how can I choose what I haven't seen?
It's so unusual looking, and it's got Johnny Depp. And
Cars has the scene with the poorly paved road.
Okay, that's actually really funny. That is actually really funny.
Okay.
Yeah, actually.
All right. Okay. Millie Bobby Brown or Megan Fox?
Transformers girl. Stranger Things girl. I'm gonna go with Megan.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's interesting.
I thought you were a boobs woman.
I didn't realize what she meant by attractiveness.
All right. Okay. Brad Pitt or Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp.
Okay.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
I've seen that movie probably 100 times.
Okay.
Probably more. I've also seen Edward Scissorhands 100 times, probably
Okay.
more.
And I have grown up with her absolute adoration for him, so I can't not have a second-hand appreciation.
Okay. Okay. Brie Larson or Rachel Zegler?
No.
You know, Rachel Zegler can only
Rachel.
sing. She
Rachel.
can sing, so we'll give it to Rachel. She can only sing, but
I hate Brie. I hate her so freaking much that I can't ever pick her. I have to pick Rachel.
Okay.
Captain Marvel was his favorite superhero, as you know,
All right.
as a kid, and then Brie was absolutely not Captain Marvel.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Mary Elizabeth Winstead or Dakota Johnson?
Okay, maybe I'm drawing a blank on who those two are.
Okay. All right. Okay. Denzel Washington or Samuel L. Jackson?
I'm gonna go.
It's so basic, but I like Samuel L. Jackson.
He's funny. He's got, I mean, he's Nick Fury.
He's got personality. Like, he's got a presence. It's just,
Yeah, I think we're gonna go with Sam.
yeah.
All right. Jamie Foxx or Will Smith?
See, Will Smith, it's like you want to love him because of the old Men in Black movies, and then you remember some of the really bad movies he's been in later in life. What was it, Bright? Bright is one of the most horrible movies I've ever seen in my life.
Okay. All right.
I think we have to go with Smith for Fox's sake.
I'll recognize him if you tell me what he's been in.
All right. Quentin Tarantino or Coen Brothers?
Tarantino.
Okay. Christopher Nolan or Stanley Kubrick?
Nolan, I think.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Beyonce or Prince?
Oh, that's hard. Prince is cool. I like Prince. But
Yes, the aesthetic.
yeah, exactly. It's like, but then Beyonce's also got aesthetic because they're both loud and booming and proud. But I think Prince did it when it was harder to be proud,
Okay.
and Beyonce did it when it was easier to be proud.
Okay.
And she's got. Yeah, I think we're gonna go Prince.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not just that it's easy by far for Beyonce, but
It's fabulous.
Yeah.
Okay. Michael Jackson or Frank Sinatra?
That's apples and oranges.
Yeah, they don't have anything in common. They're both amazingly talented.
I'm gonna go Frank Sinatra.
So I
Okay.
like Christmas music.
Okay.
Good more than Christmas.
I know, but Christmas music is so good.
That's fair. The Weeknd.
Yep.
The Weeknd or Frank Ocean?
Weekend
Yeah.
or Frank. Whoa.
Okay.
We're lost. I'm sorry.
Alright, that's fine. Tara Strong or Ashley Johnson?
Oh, that's mean.
Ashley.
Okay.
I like them both, but it's like Ashley's got a cool story to her. I don't know.
Yeah, she did.
I like that she was in the Avengers.
Okay.
Captain America saved my life.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
Okay.
The fact that you knew that.
I knew that. She's a critical role, and so.
Yeah.
Okay. Marvel or DC?
I think technically Marvel.
At this point, Marvel.
When I was younger, it would have been DC, hands down. The Justice League cartoon is one of my favorites. But today, I'd say it's Marvel.
I agree. I think, well, we wrote those fanfics together. We've shifted
It's like,
together.
but it's like, oh gosh, like, just reading we've been, let's see, she's been reading the Uncanny X-Men, like the old ones from the 90s. I've been reading Adam Warlock, who's a complete weirdo, and I love him. And then, of course, the actual Marvel movies.
Okay.
And they're so good for so many reasons that we don't have time to go into. So
Okay.
I think Marvel.
Alright. Okay. Sam Raimi or James Gunn?
I like James Gunn. It's like one of those, like I said, he's technically kind of acquired, but also kind of not. And I really like his funky, unique style, his humor and drama. Even there's a tendency to sort of like let things slip by, if that makes sense.
Okay. Jordan Peele or Ryan Coogler?
Peele. He's reinvented. He's brought new life back into the horror genre. Like, it's awesome. Like, and now you can see so many movies that are knocking off what he does.
That's how you know he did it good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Al Pacino or Robert De Niro?
Like De Niro. I think so too. Like, that's where my brain went immediately.
Yeah.
Okay. Madonna or Bob Marley?
Bob
Marley.
Okay. Okay.
Bob Marley did Redemption after all.
Okay.
Most important.
Okay. Alright, Stranger Things or Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones.
Okay.
The costuming alone, obviously it ended poorly. And books are also a bit of a hot mess. But the first book is one of the greatest books I've ever read. And I absolutely love the world. The characters are so well done.
Yeah.
Someday I'm going to make a Santa dress, but I am not a skilled enough sewer to do that.
Okay. Alright, second to last question. Last of Us or GTA?
I think Last of Us.
Yeah, it's like GTA, like the world, like what they're able to. They're a technological, amazing feat, but we tend to be more story focused with our gaming.
Yeah.
And Last of Us is beautiful.
Yeah, and so you give her a sad sob story to cry over, and you've got her.
Okay.
Meanwhile, if I can build I guess I will say the one thing that I can build a base. If you can give me the opportunity, I will love your game. It doesn't matter what it is.
I'm listening to GTA.
Okay. Alright, last one. Need for Speed or Forza?
Last question.
I don't know what either of those are.
Okay.
I'm assuming.
Alright, bonus. Cookies or cupcakes?
Cookies.
Alright.
I am wine intolerant. Icing will kill me.
Okay.
I've been drugged by an evil cupcake before. I will not.
Alright, okay.
Yep.
Second bonus one. Toronto, Chicago as cities.
Toronto is one of the most beautiful
Toronto is
cities.
amazing.
I really want to go to the Chicago Field Museum, but that is the only thing I want to do in Chicago.
Alright.
Whereas Toronto,
It's like so much,
and
and you
it's like
possibly do it all in one day.
It's cleaner. It's like than American cities. Just terrible. The transportation is amazing.
Yeah, it's funny because
friendly.
And I have a friend who lives there who I could theoretically bum off his apartment while
But we didn't.
mm,
all right. The reason why I asked that last question because I actually I'm from around Toronto, so like I live in Canada.
Oh,
Yeah.
we went up there last year for FanX, but we didn't do it this year because it fell during the busiest time of the year for our work where we're not allowed to take off. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah, it's funny. I volunteered at the Fan Expo literally like last week, Saturday, Sunday. So that was a really cool experience.
wow.
Yeah, it was really cool. Like seeing everything. I saw the Tron Ares life cycle thing. That was cool. Like that was dope.
Oh, that was so cool.
it's they had some like the guest list this year was amazing.
Yeah, it was. It really
Yeah.
was.
God.
I mean, I took a break. Just I wanted to see Haley Steinfeld, and then they had her in this room. They were like the security there was like security everywhere. Like they were treating like she was like the president. Which I mean, I don't blame them, but you know how it is.
Yeah.
I remember. Oh gosh, it's like last year though. They were like. It was very congested, so I hope that they fix some. Granted, one of the escalators went down for a bit last year,
Okay.
so probably it was better this year.
Yeah.
Not escalator
Definitely,
stairs.
we regretted wearing Kai's place. They were harder to walk in.
Okay.
Yeah, I was Rikuo from Narahian, and so he's got a head that's like this long. So if this is his head, and it's like a foot out from behind him.
That's crazy.
I had to keep an eye on her.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's the end of the interview, man. That's the end of the interview. Really glad I had this interview, this conversation. You guys were great as always. I'm rooting for you guys. Again, I'm gonna keep tabs on you guys from now on. Have a nice day, man.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time out of
Yeah.
your busy schedule to work with us.
Yep, and we'll definitely watch some of yours. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thank you. See you later. And that's another episode of the Renegade Podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Same way, enjoyed this one, putting this one together. Bye.